An important part of network maintenance is adding new capacity to the existing network or rebalancing traffic from congested to less utilized links. Topology planning is a safe area to test changes to your network before actually deploying these changes to the running network. It does not affect your production network. In this video, we're going to add traffic to the network and explore the effects it has on the network. Let's add traffic between LAXP104 and JFKP144 routers. When adding new traffic, some links will become overutilized. To overcome this problem, we will learn how you can plan new links on your network. First, let's check how traffic is forwarded between LAXP104 and JFKP144 routers. We will select the starting point by clicking on the LAXP104 router and select Loopback. Next, we will select JFKP144 and select Loopback as the destination. The forward and return path through the network for these two loopback interfaces can now be seen. The traffic is forwarded through the ORDP121 router. To start working with the topology planning tool, we first need to enable it. Let's go to the planning menu in the top ribbon and select topology planning. One indicator that we are in the topology planning mode is the exit planning button, which we can also use to leave topology planning mode. Now all the changes you make have no effect on the actual network. Now that we are in the topology planning mode, we can start planning network changes using the topology planning panel on the right side of the screen. Let's add some traffic. We need to select Flows menu in the topology planning panel, which is used to add a single flow to the network. For multiple flows at the same time, the flow matrix field should be selected. We will select IPv4 traffic and loopback 0 interface on LAXP104 router as an exporting router. We will add the prefixes to define the source and destination for the traffic. Next, we need to specify the bitrate that will be used for this traffic. We will add 80 megabits per second of traffic on the network. Traffic is now added to the network. Let's check the traffic page, which is seen on the Flows tab. It can take up to 4 minutes to apply the traffic to the network. Now the traffic is ready, we can see the path that is used for this traffic. If we click on the Infrastructure tab, we can see the link utilization, which can be used to explore new traffic impact links in our network. As we can see, adding 80 megabits per second of traffic on the network will overutilize some links. So, the current infrastructure is not suitable for increasing the traffic between the two endpoints for 80 megabits per second. We need to increase the capacity of our network. As we have discovered, the link between JFKP141 and DFWP132 will be overutilized for simulated traffic. To reduce the utilization of the link, we can add a new path between ORDP121 and JFKP141. Let's start by adding a new router to the topology. In the topology planning panel, we will select the router option and then Add. If we would just like to edit an existing router, we will select the Edit option and then we can select the router that we would like to edit. In this example, we will add a new router to the topology. We need to specify a name, an IP address, and a topology. For this example, we will add a new router to the OSPF backbone area in the ORD area. We will name the new router ORDP120 and 10.66.0.120 as an IP address. We will also select the OSPF backbone area. We can now see the new router on the map. If required, the router can be moved around to a different position. The router is highlighted in the topology map with a pin. On the left side of the screen, we see the inspector panel. There is not much information in the inspector for now, since the router is not connected anywhere. So the next step is to connect the router to the existing network. We will add a first link to the new router. In the topology planning panel, let's select the link option. We have to select both source and destination routers. We can click on the empty field and then select the router on the map, or simply write the router's name in the field. In the source field, we will select the ORDP121 router on the map and select ORDP120 as the destination router. As this router is a part of the OSPF domain, we can specify different OSPF parameters in the next section. We would typically want to update parameters to reflect the actual configuration that we are planning to add to the network. For this example, we will leave metric and TE metric as they are. We will add a new 1 gigabit per second link and allow 500 megabits per second to be reserved by traffic engineering tunnels. After the configuration is ready, we can click Apply to apply the changes. Let's repeat the same procedure for the second link. All the changes that have been done up to this point are displayed under Show Edits. We will use this menu to verify what changes were added to the network. If we're not happy with the changes, we can also use this menu to remove them. At this point, we can see that these changes already have some impact on our network. Forwarding has changed in one direction while not in the other. We have an asymmetric path through the network. This piece of information would be very hard to get from other tools. We can go even deeper. By clicking the Show Impact button, we can see the impact of this change on the network. We can actually see and notice the number of differences and what those differences are. For example, the number of links that would change, the number of IGP prefixes that would change, and so on. Now let's go back to the map. As we have an asymmetric path between routers, we would need to update the tunnel configuration to make it symmetric. So let's update the tunnel between LAX P102 router and JFK P141. To edit an existing tunnel, we need to select the tunnel and the edit option. We need to select the head end and the tail end routers, and we need to search for the existing tunnel. The topology planning tool automatically filters available elements only. Let's select the available tunnel and click Next. We can see that there are 3 path options defined for this tunnel. For the purpose of this example, we will remove the third path option and update option 1 and 2. Let's remove the path option 3. There are many fields that we can edit for this path option. Let's update the explicit path and leave other parameters as configured. We will remove all existing hops and add only ORDP121 as one of the hops for this path. Here we can specify hops, we can specify the type of the hop, or we can just change the order. We will remove all existing hops. Now that no hops are defined, we can add a new hop. Let's manipulate path option 2 as well. The path for this path option will be dynamically selected. Let's remove all hops from the second path and click OK. This will use dynamic path selection. Some tunnel attributes can be updated as well. For the purpose of this video, we will disable protection. Now that the changes have been added to the tunnel, we can click the Apply button. The path is now updated on the map. The traffic now flows through the ORDP120 router. Let's explore the tunnel and check the path. We can see that the primary path uses ORDP120 router as one of the hops. Let's check the link utilization based on the traffic that was added. It can again take up to 4 minutes to apply the traffic. No links are currently overutilized after planned changes have been added. Let's go back to the map screen. Maintenance is a part of the daily routine for the network administration. You may need to maintain your router or a link on a specific router. When doing maintenance, you often want to remove a router from a forwarding path. Without a proper modeling tool, it is usually quite a challenge to discover the effect that an action will have on the network and traffic flows. With ROA topology planning, this kind of operation can be easily simulated on the network. For this use case, we're going to perform maintenance on the ORDP120 router. In order to do this, we're going to change the link metric to poison routes. Select the link option in the topology planning menu and edit the link between routers ORDP120 and ORDP121. Let's change the metric and TE metric to 6666 to make the link less preferable. The forwarding tunnel still uses ORDP120 for the forwarding path. We need to re-optimize the tunnels in order to use a better path. By default, the topology planning tool uses fast reroute for a tunnel when a link or node goes down on a tunnel path. If FRR is not available, traffic is dropped at the previous hop. we can change the default behavior for the planning mode session by using the options available in the Operations on Tunnels window. There are 4 options available. By default, Fast Reroute is selected. Other options include Standby, Run CSPF, and Reoptimize. The Standby option forces traffic to go over a standby tunnel. The Run CSPF option attempts to create a new primary path or a path option with lowest sequence number. This option is useful for modeling longer timescale behavior. Finally, when you select Reoptimize, the system searches through all the tunnels in the network to find the best path. The selection of the tunnel operation mode depends on your network. For this example, we're going to use the Reoptimize option. If we click Show Edit, we can now see that an additional action was applied to the bottom of the edit list. Now, we can observe the effect of this change on a tunnel. Click the LAX P102 router and check the RSVP-TE tunnels, where the router is the head-end router. In the new window, select the tunnel 10241 tunnel and drill into that tunnel. We can see that the tunnel does not use ORDP120 to forward the traffic. It is now safe to put ORDP120 into maintenance mode. This concludes the video. We were able to use the topology planning tool to plan additional traffic, to add new routers and links, to update RSVP-TE tunnel configuration, and plan network maintenance.